everyone. Welcome to a very special edition of the Ellington One Room Schoolhouse. I'm your host, Mr. Spada. Now, you might have seen our first two episodes, which were for students that were grades pre-K to second grade. But today's special enrichment episode is for students grades K through 8. Now, we have a lot of really fun math and STEM challenges for you, so let's get right into this episode. Here to talk about all the amazing things that we have for you is Mr. Hendrickson. Mr. Hendrickson, where's the trumpet?
Mr. Spada, great to see you. No trumpet this week. We're going to come back to that today. We have so much awesome stuff. We've got a maker challenge and a math challenge for all of our students. We're super excited about that. We also have a very special guest.
All right, who is it, Mr. Henderson? Who is our special guest here with us today?
We have State Representative Chris Davis with us. And he sits on some really interesting committees at the state level. He'll talk a little bit with us about what a state representative does. And he's also has some real, very great words of encouragement and wisdom for our students. And such a great supporter of Ellington Public Schools. We're super happy he's able to be on our show today.
All right, that sounds super exciting, Mr. Hendrickson. Are you going to come back and give us a recap at the end of the episode?
You got it.
All right, we'll see you then. So as Mr. Hendrickson said, we have Mr. Davis here with us. So let me pull him in here. Mr. Davis, thank you so much for joining us on the One Room Schoolhouse.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Now, Mr. Davis, we know that you live right here in Ellington, and that is so amazing for us. Can you talk to us about what's some of your favorite things about living in Ellington?
Well, first and foremost, my favorite thing about living in Ellington is the community. I mean, even right now during the virus outbreak, we've seen the community come together in such wonderful ways, helping out individuals that have either lost their jobs or helping out the small businesses that make our community so unique. So I think having everybody come together all the time when people are in need is such a great part of Ellington's community. And I know I live right here in the center of town, so my family, we love walking down to Cloder Farms for ice cream or walking down to the farmers market during the summer and springtime down at Arbor Park and enjoying the beautiful scenery of Ellington Center.
That's really awesome. Now you're a state representative. Can you talk a little bit about what does a state representative do?
So I represent the towns of East Windsor and Ellington at the State House, and we actually vote on all the laws that we do here in the state of Connecticut. So whether it be the number of days in school that our students have to go to, what you guys end up learning in school oftentimes comes from the curriculum that we vote on down in Hartford. I serve in the big Capitol building that has the big gold dome down in Hartford, and try to represent your best interests there as much as possible, and try to make sure that we can have the best schools, the best jobs, the best communities as possible for everybody in the state of Connecticut, and especially here in Ellington.
That sounds like a lot of responsibility.
We do vote on a lot of things, and it's one of my favorite parts of it is that I get to learn so much about so many different topics, whether it be education-based, like I was just saying with the curriculum and other activities that students have to do, or business-based and trying to help businesses and employers keep people working here in Connecticut, or just, quality of life issues, making sure people have access to healthcare, access to transportation, access to parks and recreation activities. So it covers a huge amount of information, and it's one of the things that I love the most about it is being able to learn something new every day and help people as much as possible whenever they have any issues with any of those topics.
That's so great. Now, as part of your job, you're on the Energy and Technology Committee. Can you talk a little bit about how important it is for kids to develop and practice their skills in problem solving, creativity, and innovation in the areas of math and STEM?
Yeah, one of the things that we do on the Energy and Technology Committee is that we're constantly looking at new and emerging technologies, trying to make our lives better, trying to make green technology. That's a big issue that we deal with, trying to combat climate change and come up with new technologies that can help try to make our environment even better. So it's so important that our students today learn these skills in science and technology and engineering and mathematics so that we can have those types of skill sets moving forward, that we can create those types of new technologies that will only make our lives so much better in the future.
Do you have any advice for the kids at home who are watching this?
I would say that right now is the great time for all of you to start learning about STEM. Last year, we passed a bill that required that schools start having curriculum based on computer programming. I mean, I think it's going to be something that our students are going to have to learn a little bit of moving forward with all the apps and technology that we have on our phones and on our computers and on our televisions and in our cars. I mean, the technology is everywhere. So it's a great opportunity for our young people to learn. I know here in Ellington, we even have a great group called Girls That Code that is actually nationwide movement, but we have a chapter here in Connecticut, and I know some students here in Ellington participate in that as well, trying to get female students interested in computer programming and technology and engineering. I think this is a great thing for everybody to try to get involved in. If it's something that interests them, engineering, computer programming is certainly not an easy field to go into. It's definitely got to be something that you're interested in. But I think there's a great opportunity for a lot of young people to really get into those fields and try to make our world a better place.
Well, that's why we're so excited to be able to do episodes like this. And I don't know if you'd be interested, but we would love to have you come back in a future episode to help recognize some of the students who go above and beyond in some of these challenges. Is that something you might be interested in?
I would definitely be interested in that. I love to see all of the new innovative things that our students can come up with. And these challenges are great ways for you to kind of have that extra motivation to try to come up with some of those ideas that could possibly lead to an amazing invention. I mean, some of the best things that we have in our world today were ideas that people came up with just sitting in their dorm room, sitting in their basement, sitting in their garage. I think of Apple starting in the garage, Amazon starting in a garage, Facebook starting in Mark Zuckerberg's dorm room. I mean, those kinds of things start from young people sitting around and thinking and coming up with ideas on how to improve things and how to make our lives even better. So I encourage all of our students to participate in this challenge, and hopefully they will come up with some great ideas that I'd be happy to come back and help be part of.
Yeah, those are really inspiring stories, and you never know. So we could have a great invention come from this show today, and that would be incredible. Mr. Davis, if students want to reach out to you or families, is there a way that they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, anytime you have any questions, whether it be about specifically about anything going on in school or anything else happening across our state, feel free to reach out to me. My website is repdavis.com. That's repdavis.com. Or you could always send me an email or give my office a call. I mean, we're shut down right now, like many of you, but I'm still working from home and answering issues from constituents and trying to help people as much as possible. So feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I'd be happy to help in any way I can.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you back on in a future episode.
Thanks so much, and I look forward to being on.
Have you ever heard the expression, one person's trash is another person's treasure? Well, Mrs. McDermott is here to introduce Ellington's very own Trash to Treasure Challenge.
Hey students, you must be wondering what I'm doing out here searching through my recycling bin. Well, let me tell you, I'm looking for the perfect piece of trash, or some might call it a treasure, for the first ever Ellington Distance Learning Maker Challenge. I'll be back in just a minute to tell you how you can participate in the challenge, but first, I must find the perfect item for the challenge. This maker challenge is called Trash or Treasure and is open to all kindergarten through grade 8 students. For this challenge, you will need to find an item that would generally be considered trash or recyclable and turn it into something useful as part of your project. Now, there are a few other details that you should know, so those are coming up next. There are a few details that you need to know about this challenge. First, make sure that whatever item you choose from your trash or recycling is a key part of your design. Be sure that your design is safe and functional and solves a problem or is useful to someone in the world. Finally, be sure that you have repurposed the item. This means that the new design serves a different function than the original item. For example, if you choose the recyclable of a milk jug, the original job of a milk jug is to hold milk. When you design your project, you need to make sure that that milk jug no longer serves the purpose of holding milk, but is useful in some other way. Your project will be evaluated in a couple of different categories. First, we'll be looking at how original and creative you were in your design. Second, we'll be looking at how useful your design is. Third, we'll be looking at the overall presentation and attention to detail within your design. And finally, we will be reading over your answers to the reflection questions that will accompany your submission. We want to make sure that you're being really thoughtful about your design process, the usefulness of your design, and what you learned from it. We hope you have a great time completing the Trash or Treasure Challenge with your family. Submissions will be due on Friday, May 1st. Stay tuned for details on how to submit pictures of your project and your reflection questions. Good luck and have fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see all the creative things that you come up with. Now, if you do want to try this challenge, Mrs. Valit has made a video that will show you how you can submit your work.
Hi everyone! Now that you know what the first ever distance learning maker challenge is, let's talk about where to find more information and how to submit your final creations. First, we need to join the Maker Challenge 2020 Google Classroom page. To do this, you need to go to classroom.google.com. Once you're into classroom.google.com, hit the plus button in the top right corner and enter our class code, which is 5MB6ARY. Hit join. Once you hit join, you've officially joined our Makerspace Challenge 2020 Google Classroom page. From here, you'll have access to the submission sheet for your particular grade level and other resources. To view those, you'll want to go to the classwork page. Now let's talk about how to complete the submission sheet. The first thing you need to do is fill in the important information on the top of the page. This includes your name, grade level, school, and a creative title for your project. You can see I've started to fill in some of that information on my demo page. The next thing that you want to do is insert a picture or a few to demonstrate your project. So click inside the box under question number 1. And the next thing you want to do is go to insert. From here, you'll hit image. And a great way to do this is to go down and just connect yourself automatically to your camera. It may ask you to allow the camera to be used. Once you're ready, hold up your trash to treasure, take your picture, and hit insert. You could take a few pictures of different angles of your project. Your face does not need to be in the picture. It can be just of your project. You can resize things to make them bigger or smaller, depending on how many pictures you have or what kind of detail you want us to be able to see. Another way you can do this is by uploading an image to your Google Drive. So let's say you took the picture on a smartphone and then you uploaded it to your Ellington School's Google Drive. How you'd get to that picture is you'd hit insert, image, and then click on Drive. Over on the right, your most recent photos will pop up and you'll be able to choose from any of those photos. So let's say I wanted to have this Chromebook photo. I'd hit insert. And now I have this picture inside of the question number 1 where I need to insert a picture for my project. Make sure that after you finish inserting the pictures, you take a look at the rest of the questions, answer them inside of the box below each one, and then you are good to go. Once you've answered all the questions and you feel confident in your project submission, you can hit turn in the top right corner. And we are now able to see your work and we know that you are ready to go. We can't wait to see all of your awesome submissions. Be on the lookout for more communication through the Google Classroom once the challenge begins.
In previous episodes, Dr. D has shown us that math is all around us. We can use it in sports and in everyday life. But can we actually use it to win $1 million?
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. D, Math Specialist in Ellington Public Schools. We just heard about the many important roles Mr. Davis fulfills as a state representative in Connecticut. He spoke about voting, combating climate change, and the most recent virus outbreak. Did you know that mathematics is used to find solutions to real-life problems found in all of these areas? Sometimes the math in real life is not obvious, so we need to develop skills that help us to uncover the math behind everyday challenges we face. For example, voting. Math is used to identify the best voting methods that take all opinions into account. Climate change. Scientists use patterns to predict weather and the future of our planet. Virus outbreaks. Professionals are able to predict the future impacts of a spread of a virus using patterns and mathematical models. There is math hidden beneath many things that we do every day. Have you been playing games at home with your family? I bet you're using math and you might not even know it. Today, we are going to begin to uncover the math of a real-world scenario and then use that math to help solve a problem. And we're going to have some fun while doing it. We're going to play a game called the Island Challenge. Grab your beach towel and your sunglasses. Follow the crowd. Well, hello, contestants. Welcome to the Virtual Island Challenge. There must be 70 of you that have arrived. Today, one of you will win $1 million or self-satisfaction, whichever we have available to offer to you at the end of this show. The rest of you will be sent off the island. Sorry. Just a moment, all 70 of you will form a circle around the island. And it's up to you to find the place to stand, that winning place. Once everybody is in the circle, we will begin. Here's how we're gonna play. We'll start with player 1 and move clockwise around the circle. Player 1 will eliminate the person to their left, or player 2. Sorry, player 2, you're out. Now that player 2 is out, the turn moves to the next person going clockwise around the circle for player 3. Player 3 will eliminate the person to their left. Player 4. Sorry, player 4, you're out. And we'll continue around the circle as many times as we need until there's one person that remains. Now, as you can see, it's unknown who that winning person will be. But it's up to you to find that winning spot. And if you do, you have that chance at $1 million or self-satisfaction. Good luck.
These enrichment activities all sound very fun and super creative, so I can't wait to see what all of our Ellington students come up with. Now, one of my favorite things about this episode has been giving you, the students, a chance to do something that's never been done before. Think about that. You can make something that's never been made out of things that you just thought were garbage. And it can actually solve a problem around your house. Or you can use math to win $1 million. Okay, well, maybe not $1 million, but you can still use math to solve problems. And developing these kinds of skills will help you as you go through school, they'll help you in jobs, and in your everyday life. So we learned so much today, I think we should bring back Mr. Hendrickson to just recap everything we learned.
Mr. Spada, great to see you again. And wow, what an incredible show. The math challenge, Dr. D and the math crew leading some work on that. And then we also had the Maker Challenge. Ms. McDermott, Ms. Felipe, walking students through that, trash to treasure. Can't wait to see all the great stuff everyone comes up with. Here's some exciting news. State Representative Chris Davis will be back in a future episode to share out the student work and hand out some virtual certificates to students that have gone above and beyond for both the Maker and the Math Challenge. So super excited to see him back on a future episode and go over all the great work the students have done. So looking forward to that in the future.
Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of the One Room Schoolhouse. We hope you enjoyed yourselves, and we can't wait to see all of your amazing submissions. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.